mostly on them songs, on that very song in particular. We're talking about racist bigots, you dirty demon. You know, racist people, people who beat their wives. These are people that have affected people in ways.
But
it's like therapy to hear that and to voice that.
But
Rap along with
Jay,
it.
what does it mean if you call a song "I'ma Kill You"? What does that mean to any person reading the English language?
It means it's.
But I mean, how you take that? I mean, are you like a grown retard or something?
Yeah,
like,
you some kind of murderer to begin with. Then it might affect you weird. But if you're anybody else, it means I could take you to Walmart and show you some pretty scary sounding horror movies just by their name. P.S. I'll kill you.
How about I stab people? I stab people, 4 or 5 people every day. I tried to see a shrink to stop that shit, but it ain't no fucking way.
It's the same thing we're talking about.
Is that describing you? Did you want to stab people?
Sometimes, it may be in my subconscious anger, but not in real life. We're sitting here in clown paint. You know what I mean? We're entertainers. Anybody that reads that or hears that, takes that seriously, really thinks that we're out killing people, is sick to begin with. Believe me, there's more to it. I mean, that's like. Those lyrics are like funny or angry or any kind of substance, violence.
Violent J, is this funny? I stabbed a fat guy in the butt. Say what? I stab old people, ladies, little kids. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, when you hear the song in its entire contents.
Is that funny?
Yeah. In its entire contents, not that line read like that. But in the song, not the way you're reading it, but the way I perform it. The song is called "I Stab People." It's about a guy. Listen to what I'm saying. It's about a guy who stabs people constantly. Nobody does that in this world. That makes the song entertaining. It's like, what is he talking about?
Now let me ask you this. I mean, you don't have people sitting Stephen King down and schooling him like this, So when you had that crazy clown in It stabbing some dude in the neck, what were you thinking? Nah, he gets praised for being a mastermind.
And hear me again. I stab people, 4 or 5 people every day. The way the song is done, the way my voice is done to the music, it's maddening. It's a crazy lunatic who can't stop stabbing people. That's the story. That's the product. That's the art.
So, just so we understand it, you're not being serious when you say murder people, stab them, bludgeon their scrotum with a hammer.
We don't tell anybody to do anything.
It's a character in a song. We don't tell nobody to go do that.
You don't?
Nah.
But this is just purely entertainment.
Say, go out and
we're
kill
entertainers.
Somebody.
Yeah, we're like actors, like Jason and Michael Myers.
Here's the problem though, Violent J. A number of people who have been associated with serious criminal acts of violence and murder, have had some kind of connection to ICP and juggalos.
And I'm sure they watch Stephen King movies as well.
You know what else? When you sell, how many records do we say? 7 million records?
7 to 9 million.
You're talking about 7 to 9 million people out there. You're going to find everything in those people if you look. You're also going to find people probably worthy of the Nobel Prize in there. You know what I mean?
Don't nobody report
Maybe
on
they
that.
were influenced by ICP. What about the family love we bring? Talk to all the juggalos.
What about juggalos running canned food drives and what I'm saying? And
juggalos who tell us we saved their lives and inspired them to do great things.
Nobody want to report on that.
There's even juggalos that, not just 1 or 2, but a great deal of juggalos who say we helped them find God.
Really?
Absolutely. If you knew the origins of the Dark Carnival and the 6 Joker cards and what our story is, and not just the frosting on top, but if you actually dug into the cake, there's plenty of that. And then there's plenty of great hidden underlying messages, real messages that take years to decipher, not just the easy cakewalk stuff that's on the top. That's like for everybody to be misled.
So you're saying that you lead people in some measure, on some occasions, to God, to faith.
In some ways, absolutely. And let me state this also. We don't subject what ICP does to anybody. who doesn't want to see it. We don't tour with anybody unless we're the main act. You never have to sit through ICP while you're waiting for your favorite band, because we always go on last. You can leave. You don't hear us on the radio while you're waiting to hear your favorite single. We're not on the radio. You don't have to watch our videos while you're waiting for your favorite video, because we don't have videos on MTV or VH1. You got to come look for us. It's an acquired taste. I don't deny that. We're not your everyday music. Not everybody's going to be into I stab people. But there are people who find that stuff funny and get what we mean by it.
Or I'm going to kill you. Michel Vasey, who's the Arizona State Law Enforcement Gang Unit, has said this, and I'm quoting her: "We've got multiple individuals committing gang-related crimes, gang-motivated crimes, and they're using the name juggalo." Now, as you know, there are a number of states that are now regarding juggalos as members of gangs. They're no longer regarded as innocent lovers of your music because of a number of horrendous crimes that have occurred. What do you say to that?
I say bullshit. I say it's not true. I say people
not
have
true.
the wrong...
Let me give you an example. In February 2006, individual attacks people with a machete in a gay bar, kills a police officer in traffic stop, and calls himself a juggalo.
So wrong with that kid.
He was insane to begin with.
You better holler at his parents and see how they raise
What
him.
about in September 2009? Sam McCroskey, horrorcore rapper, kills 4 people.
That's horrible.
What about in New Hampshire, October this year? 41-year-old Kimberly Cates is killed, and 11-year-old daughter's throat is slit. Again, by individuals linked to your music and to juggalos.
Individuals who listen to our music? Come on, man. Who else do they listen to? Why don't you blame them?
Well,
right. I'm sure like Jack the Ripper back in the day probably bumped Beethoven like
they
crazy.
Probably watched the movie Saw as well.
What about February 2009? Michael Goucher stabbed 20 times with a knife and a meat cleaver by 2 self-proclaimed juggalos, one wearing an ICP t-shirt. The district attorney has said they did it for the thrill, so they decided to kill.
Well, just the way you read these off is like it's like a brutal attack to try to make it sound like our fans are these dangerous people when it's the most misconstrued thing.
Violent J, I didn't say that. I'm just reporting the facts of these cases. The individuals who perpetrated these murders and acts of violence
Once
were
again,
self-proclaimed juggalos. Some were wearing ICP t-shirts, and the question is there some relationship?
No, there isn't, because we've sold millions of records. And I know that's hard to believe because we're not public figures.
No, it's not hard to believe. It's statistically proven.
You know what's funny to me? You know what I'm saying? You know what's funny to me? I'm sure there was some crazy guy in the 70s slashing people rocking the Eagles t-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all of a sudden, Don Hensley had to get accused of like putting some shit out.
Can't
You know what I'm saying?
believe
it's
that,
ridiculous, man.
That any of those horrible crimes you're talking
Maybe some of the drugs
were
they were taking
committed
had something to do
because
with it.
of our lyrics. These people might have heard our records, might call themselves juggalos. What else are they into in their
Right, I'm
lives?
sure the crystal meth didn't help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what other kind of shit are they into in their lives? Who else are these people?
But Violent J, is it possible that young people, perhaps, who may be deviant, hearing this music, are unable to process the difference between fantasy and entertainment?
If it wasn't our music, it'd be somebody else's music, and they'd be getting that shit.
That, my friend, is the oldest argument in rock and roll history. Because there were people having the same discussion in the 70s, talking to Ozzy Osbourne, talking to Black Sabbath, talking to Judas Priest. That's the oldest question that's been getting kicked around in rock and roll since day one, man. You know what I'm saying? Is the music somehow corrupting the youth? Is the music corrupting the youth?
Why do you think then these states, Utah, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Monroe County, Pennsylvania, why have they classified juggalos as gang members?
Because it's ignorance. They don't really understand what it is. They know that there is a juggalo, and there is people who call themselves juggalos. Therefore, it's got to be something negative.
No, but they're saying the evidence that they've found suggests that the music and the whole...
So why don't they find some more evidence, like I was saying, where a group of juggalos are helping the poor out, helping homeless out?
I'm sure they could, but we're talking about...
And they don't want to.
I don't believe in this evidence you speak of. I don't believe that